Hello Talk family, and welcome to another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host Dish, and joining me today is Monique Botha, and she's the service advisor at Audi Center Bruma, which is part of the NMI group. So Monique knows that one of the most important elements of a service advisor's role is customer service. For her, the customer is priority, and this is why she is frequently seen going the extra mile for them. Monique values her customers and is always eager to assist with an attentive ear and quick problem-solving skills. She was nominated for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards 2023, and so we're getting to know her. And without further ado, let's welcome Monique. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank. Hello, Monique.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for bringing that beautiful Audi to us.
It's only a pleasure.
Okay, so you've been nominated for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, as I said earlier on, and you qualified. You made it to the top 30. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I think you really deserve this nomination. I know your DP Celeste, because we've met previously, a phenomenal woman as well. But we are here to talk about you and to try and get you some more votes for next year, and allow our followers to get to know you as well. So, Monique, where did your journey in the motoring trade begin?
I started in 2013 at McCarthy VW in Westgate. I was an invoicing clerk, and I occasionally helped out with service advising. Eventually in 2015 there was a vacancy at a dealership close by, also part of the McCarthy group, and I said this is going to be my opportunity. I sent the service manager a message and said, I'm going to be your next service advisor. When were you able to see me?
Love it.
I went there for the interview and got transferred immediately. Started there in August 2015. I have been a service advisor since then. From McCarthy VW, I went over to Audi Center Northcliffe, and we unfortunately closed down due to COVID. And then I took a brief gap, worked at an RMI, and then went back into the Audi trade after maternity, and I'm at Audi Center Bruma now since last year, end of last year.
Okay, yes. And I know your plans to skip the service manager position and become dealer principal.
Yes,
well done.
I'm going to be a dealer principal sooner than later.
I love that. But I love your drive, I love your personality, and you are so beautiful. I said that so many times off air. You like the kind of like the full package here, okay? Because you are proof that you do not have to act like a man in the motoring trade. Yes. You can be female and you can be powerful in what you do, but just being a woman. So how do you keep this all together?
A lot of faith. And a lot of hard work. Being a mom as well makes it difficult.
Right.
And I stay very far from the dealership, which also adds to it. I stay about 60 kilometers away from the dealership, so I travel quite far.
Are
to
you
get
in
to
Springs?
it.
Hey?
No, I'm in Krugersdorp.
Oh, Kruger's! Oh my
Yes.
gosh! Wow.
So I leave home at about 6 in the morning, drop off my daughter at the creche. My husband helps out quite a lot. He works in 4 ways at Porsche, so it's quite a travel for both of us. So he drops her off and fetches her when I can't, and with the load shedding, the traffic is unpredictable.
Yes.
And the times are even worse. I can't say I'm going to be there before they close, so he helps me out quite a lot.
Yes.
Then start the mornings early. I have a wonderful colleague that works with me, Dylan. We have a very good dynamic between the two of us. So where the one comes short, the other one will come in.
Right.
We have a very good dynamic in our dealership as well. We have a lot of support from behind and ahead of us.
Yes.
Dealer principal, service manager, everyone's hands on. The technicians are always on time and ready to help, and we have a very good dynamic.
Oh,
at
that's
the dealership.
amazing.
Yes.
Wow, we didn't even talk about that off air, that you travel 60 km to work.
I
Oh
do.
my
I travel
gosh.
quite far.
That is far.
Yes.
So what is your opinion about our platforms? I know you've been following us on Facebook prior to this in terms of our interviews, empowering women, the Motoring Woman of the Year awards. How do you feel about all of this?
I'm quite excited to be part of it because this is my first time competing, even though I've been in the industry for quite some time.
You're not competing, you won already.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not, this is not a competition.
Partaking, let's change it to partaking in this.
Participating.
So I'm quite excited in participating in this. Being able to tell other women about the motor industry, and we all face challenges in our life and in the industry as well, because this is a man's world.
Right.
You have to just stand your man to be in the man's world, but with a female perspective.
Absolutely.
It's different being a woman in a man's world, but you need to make that man's world your world. And now, that's how you succeed, basically.
That's true. And obviously women do so well in our trade, it's proven.
Yes.
Why do you think?
So the misconception in the industry is that women don't know what they're doing because it's cars and it's a man's thing. But if a customer comes in and they get it from a female perspective with the knowledge behind it, it takes them back.
Yeah.
It does, because they're not expecting it for a woman to know what's going on a car and what it's all part of a car and how it works. Because of the service side, it's also different to sales.
Yes.
Because you need to have knowledge of the product and technical knowledge and technical background in order to sell the product to a customer. Yes.
So, Monique, if you could do anything different in terms, even your academic, your studies, to empower your position right now, what would you do different?
So I did a year in university and then decided it wasn't for me. I was going to do a triple BCom degree. Yes. So then I decided it wasn't for me to study. I did a certificate in business management, and then only after that I started in the motor industry. Before that I was in a reception position, but only for a brief while, for 6 months. If I could do something different, I would just drive myself a bit harder to get where I am now, instead of taking so long to take the leaps that I did to move forward in the motor industry. Right. Because we all start on a back foot because we're female. Right. And I started in an admin position, and then I moved forward to it's also an admin position, but it's a more hands-on admin position. Like I said, I want to skip the entire service manager part and go into the DP part. Right. It's about putting yourself under pressure to be the best that you can be. So for me, I would have just pushed myself a little harder to get there faster, to start earlier. Right. Instead of being scared of taking those leaps.
Absolutely. And they say that procrastination is the grave of all opportunities.
It is,
So
it definitely is.
Yeah, definitely.
I must agree with it 100%.
Yeah. So, you want to skip this whole service manager situation, go straight to dealer principal, and you do know that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. What would be the hardest thing for you to give up?
Hardest thing to give up?
I'm not saying that being a service manager is any easier, because obviously you have your challenges and you travel so far, but surely you do know that there's more responsibilities.
The hardest thing I'd have to give up is time with my daughter. It's already hard enough as it is, but I'm sure with the dealer principal you're a little bit more flexible. With service advisor, I have my customers for the day. From 6:30 in the morning till after 5, I'm there to serve my clients. When I'm in a different role, I'll have flexibility of being between customers, and sometimes you can be away for longer than what I am now, because you can work remotely. Now I'm stuck because I can't have the customers come to my house, because then it's not Audi Center Bruma anymore.
Audi Center Krugersdorp.
Exactly.
Who inspires you and why?
Myself. No, I'm joking.
I love that. You're the second person out of 600 people that I've interviewed.
I inspire myself daily, but all jokes aside, I think my husband inspires me a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
But I want to go back to you inspiring yourself.
I do inspire myself.
I want those reasons first.
Because I know where I come from, my background, my family. We don't have it very well, all brought to spend money on everything and just go forward. That's why I also stopped studying, because it's 80,000 Rand a year, which I know my parents couldn't afford at that stage. So I wasn't going to put that financial liability on them, and just to end up where I am now. And I'm happy where I am now.
I love that. And your husband, now we can
My
give him
husband
the
does
limelight?
inspire me a lot. He's a very hard worker. Also in the motor trade, I know the struggles that technicians go through,
Yes.
especially being in the workshop. And he's also been struggling, and the dealership held him back on his apprenticeship because they didn't send him for training on time.
Okay.
And yeah, he's a fully qualified technician now, and he works for a wonderful luxury brand.
Yay.
And he gets to work and do his passion things every day.
Ah, that's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, Porsche is a wonderful brand
Yes.
to work for. So he's.
So
both
he
of
went
you-
VW, Audi, and to Porsche, and I think he's very happy where he is
Yeah,
now. He's
yeah.
quite content in his job, and
Yes.
he gets to work on things that he's passionate about every day.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just a pity again that you have to travel from so far. You guys need to relocate.
No, no, I'm very happy in the West End. It's a wonderful place to be, and it's where I want to raise my daughter.
That's awesome. Any words of advice for young girls? I mean, you're a mother now. Baby is like not even a year old. So you can resonate with wanting to give advice to young girls. That actually, young girls that want to join our trade. Any advice?
Young girls that want to join
Especially,
the trade.
in the service department.
That want to join the trade. Be firm. Be firm. Don't take no for an answer. Okay, if it's a customer, you must take no for the answer, but don't take no for an answer. If you are in the motor trade, you need to be able to stand your ground.
Yes.
Because people will try and dominate you because you're female.
Yeah.
And this is a male-dominated industry. And it's because we don't take no for an answer that we can move forward and progress in the trade.
Yes.
You'll never succeed if you don't try.
Yeah. Stand your ground.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
yes. Don't take no for an answer. Definitely not.
Okay, that's awesome. Anything you want to add to this conversation?
Anything I want to add? Now, I just love working in the motor trade. I'm very content where I am now. I'm happy with my job. I'm happy with my brand. It's a fabulous brand to work for. It's premium luxury brand that we work for.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a
Really
pleasure.
appreciate
It's
it.
only a pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome. And viewers, thank you so much for watching, commenting, and sharing our interviews and content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, which is powered by MFC, and Evo by Nedbank. And the Talk the Talk studios, powered by Sariti Solutions, are aimed at recognizing and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. Together, we aim to empower and uplift the women of our trade. For those of you that are searching for your new ride, please visit www.auto.evo.africa. We have thousands of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is incredibly user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews and car maintenance tips and advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk studios. Ladies, being a go-getter is putting dreams into action. It is envisioning great opportunities in the future. When we envision positive outcomes, we are more likely to achieve those visions. Our minds thrive on creative and critical thinking. Chasing our dreams and working to make our powerful thoughts a wonderful reality is my definition of being a go-getter, and it is a great perspective to have in general. And with that, as always, I'd like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.